I got Jerry Azumah to my right, Corey Wootton, Lance Briggs to my left, of course. Time for players only. Let's start with the quarterback. It seems to be the story.
On the money.
Which one?
The one that won the game.
Oh, okay.
We'll go with the one that won the game.
He was on the money today. He was doing some magician magic tricks in the backfield when arguably one of the best defensive pass rushes were coming at him, and he was dodging bullets. He looked like Neo back there in the Matrix right here, just dodging bullets, okay? It was pretty amazing to see that. You ask any real football player, he was very lucky. Very lucky. However, what I did see, what I loved seeing was he was on the money. The guys he was throwing to, not so much. They dropped a lot of opportunities. I do think that, when the Bears trailed by 10 points, had the receivers have held on to the catchable throws that he threw to them, I think the Bears would have led the entire game.
Yeah, it felt like we were talking during the game, like even when things weren't going well and they were trailing, we're like, Caleb's playing pretty well.
Yeah. Playing very well.
Yeah.
Staying in the pocket, delivering the football, which we like to see. At the end, he had to go out there and go win the game. And he took it upon himself to go out there, grind it out. Obviously, there was a couple of runs. I think he had 8 runs for like 60-something yards, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes it's important to win ugly. This team is finding ways to win, and they're winning ugly, but they're still wins, and they're still counting.
Zoom, I don't know if you noticed when he ran that ball, Zacchaeus was wide open.
Wide open. He
said nope.
No,
I'm taking it to my hand.
No. Zacchaeus was rejecting the ball.
Yes.
It's like when you're in rec basketball when you're a kid, right? And not everybody's on the same playing level as you. You're the best player. You got people that can't catch the ball. At the end of the game, wide open person, you're going to take it to the rim and you're going to shoot yourself.
Right. Yeah,
and that's
doubt.
what Caleb Williams did.
What's interesting is that always around this time of the year in November, the basic fundamentals just break down. And I'm talking about catching the ball, tackling.
Getting in your gaps.
Getting in your gaps. Staying focused mentally. Not jumping. No false starts. These things break down and start to happen around this time of the year, and they have to be sharp. Because look, the Giants aren't really that good. No. And now we're getting to a schedule where these teams are going to be very good. And you can't make mistakes against these type of teams. So, we'll take the win, but there's a lot of things that they have to fix to get to where they have to get to.
Right.
Yeah, the happiest I was about his accuracy, because I think that's something that we talk about every week when watching the game. Oh, another missed one. Man, he's got to hit him on this.
Yeah.
But all day it was like, man, that's right on the money. So I think we saw growth from him in the pocket, didn't have that happy feet, avoiding some of the rushes, keeping the eyes down the field. That's what you want to see, because he has all the talent in the world. You're just like, when is he all going to put it together? And that's why I hate stats sometimes, because casual fans will look at this and say, oh, he's mid, he's this. But if you looked at the game, this was probably his best game other than the Cowboys game. Yeah. And I thought he did better today, just how he took command of that offense.
Making plays.
Right, how he's keeping his eyes down the field. And we saw growth from him. So that's why stats only tell us.
You'd have to watch the game to know how well he played.
Correct.
Because if you look at stats, this wasn't his greatest passing game this year. But if you watch him, this, from a technical standpoint, this was probably his best game.
It's all about making plays.
Yeah.
No just make plays. I don't care really how you do it. In the heat of the battle, sometimes you just have to go out there and just do it. He did that down the stretch, brought the team back, and put themselves in positions to win, and they won.
And he didn't chip a finger. Nail.
How you know that?
Or the finger.
You don't know that.
Hey, since I got 3 defensive guys up here, I do want to ask you, at times it felt like the defense was very leaky today, and you're getting kind of frustrated. And and I know it's the Giants, but they only gave up 20 points. I'm going to go a little bit more big picture with you guys. I'll start with you, Lance. Just how are you feeling about this defense right now? How worried are you? Do you feel like they could turn around? Remember, they didn't have T.J. Edwards today. Okay. Ideally, Kyler Gordon comes back and stays on the field, which is a big question mark. And then maybe even Jalen Johnson at some point.
I'll tell you this. I'm never excited about a defense that gives up 400 yards or over 400 yards of offense. This Giants offense is it's different than their defense. Their offense, they're more middle of the road. And Jackson Dart, I think he ate our defense up a little bit. You know, what I mean, whether it was throwing it to 18, who was wide open all day long, all right, or beating him with his feet, beating us with his feet and scoring 2 touchdowns. So it was that was a little disappointing, and I am worried because. Again, the Giants, they're not one of the known to be one of the better teams in the league right now.
At all.
But we're about to go on a stretch with a stretch of the better teams in the league, plus league opponents. So, you know, that the things that we're worried about is going to add up.
So like we were talking about the little things that creep in, you talking about towards the end of the season or middle of the season rather, the gap discipline.
Yeah.
Simple zone read plays. You know who's got the quarterback, who's got the dive. Soft coverage.
Yeah.
Tyreek Stevenson, how many times is he going to give him a 10 to 12-yard cushion? Right? You got to play ball. You got to press coverage. The one good part, what I liked, when the game has been on the line the past 2 weeks, Dennis Allen has dialed it up.
That's right.
Right? And that's in those key situations. You want to get pressure in their face. Joe Flacco last week couldn't complete that Hail Mary. And then Russell Wilson, 3rd down and 4th down. You force the ball out quick. That's what I love.
You know, you look at this defense, and this defense has been taking the ball away. And they did that again today. But, you know, things are a little bit skewed because if they didn't take the ball away, this defense really isn't that good. They can't stop the run, and they can't stop the pass. You have to be able to stop something and make a team one-dimensional. And right now they're having an extremely hard time figuring out what they want to stop. And right now everything is open, you know, and especially with this time period right now where tackling, you know, wrapping up and being able to get guys on the ground, like that seems to tail off a little bit. So they have to focus in and figure out exactly who they want to be, what their identity is, because right now they don't have an identity. Yes, they take the ball away, but right now, you know, the past couple of games,
that clouds a lot of the issues sometimes. It clouds it typically.
Exactly.
And if we're not getting
we
those
give them a
takeaways,
lot of praise because they take the ball away, but at the same time, like this defense is very vulnerable to the run and the pass.
And it's worrisome because what you do that we just talked about, when you go get with your group and you look at this, fellas, we're giving up. We're allowing 400 or plus yards a game. We
Too
can't.
much.
That's not winning football.
Right. And then if you look at this Giants offense, they're really not that good.
Wendell Robinson, Slayton, right? They're middle of the pack
They're
receivers.
middle of the pack, but we made them look really good today.
They're playing with a lot of
Like if
sense.
Malik Neighbors was healthy and
Oh, my goodness.
it'd be like
Thank
he's
God
that
Cam
down.
Scattaboo and
Scattaboo would have gone
It'd
for
be different.
200 yards.
So Zoom, about the coverage, why is Stevenson playing, 12 to 15 yards?
You know how I feel about that. I'm all about getting up and mixing it up with the wide receivers. I'm all about no free releases. Some certain times coverages dictate what you have to do. So if they have zone pressures on, which they had a lot of, you have to stay off of him and expect the ball to come out quickly. I understand that. But for me personally, I'm going to challenge these wide receivers, man. I'm going to get up in their face, mug them at the line of scrimmage, and give more opportunity to the defensive line to get home. Because that's really what we want. We want our defensive line to get home, but you have to be disruptive somewhere. And an area where they can be disruptive is getting after the wide receivers.
And you look at Tyreek Stevenson, right? They're big defensive
boys,
back. Right? Get your hands on them. They're physical. So we just need to see more of that from Dennis Allen because it seems like the common denominator is when they're doing well defensively, getting the pressure is when he brings an extra guy. He brings 2 extra guys. So you got to keep the pressure in the quarterback's face.
But on top of that, man, we still have to win our one-on-one battles. That's number one, man. Just beat your guy. And we haven't seen that on a very consistent basis with the Chicago Bears defense right now. We have to be able to beat our guy, and then finally we can put in some things to kind of mix things up. But it starts up front in the trenches, and you have to be able to go one-on-one and just beat your guy.
I think the key is, real quick, about inside, the 3 technique. We're not seeing enough of them. The 3 technique is the engine that runs that, right?
Absolutely.
Tommy Harris,
correct.
Yes.
Henry Melton. When they really got going, that's when the defensive line can really make their mark, especially the guys on the edge, because they can't step up. They have to go around, and all of a sudden those sacks fall into the end's hands.
Absolutely.